All right, behind the scenes with Facebook Live with Time for Success Business Owner Dad's Edition. And just give us a minute. Welcome to Time for Success Business Owner Dad's Edition. This is Matt Barbie, your host, and this is the show where we dive into a little bit about what it is, how you define success as a business owner, as a family man as well, and what that means to you and how to achieve success in all areas of life. And I am, again, Matt Barbie, and I am a speaker, trainer, and a business strategists who love to help business owners achieve that business that gives them and their families the lives that they've always dreamed of. And so that's why we do the show, because business is about life. Isn't that right, Chris?
That's right.
So Chris is a phenomenal guy. He has a huge passion for senior care. I'm going to let him share his story. But Chris Fowler, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much. Glad to be here.
Oh, man, it's great having you here. So please tell the audience a little bit more about you and what you do.
Yeah, so my name is Chris Fowler, as you mentioned. I live here in Webster Groves, and I own and operate a Amada Senior Care here in St. Louis. Amada Senior Care is focused on taking care of our seniors, in-home care, non-medical in-home care. Also provide placement assistance, so when it is time to potentially move out of the home and somewhere else, we can help them find the right place. But we're really here to help our seniors with their activities of daily living, help them, whether it be meal preparation, running errands, and just safely still stay at home. So that's what we do as a business. I've been doing this now for almost 2 years. Previously, I worked for a company here in town called Express Scripts.
I've heard of it.
Yes,
right.
yes. Used to be much smaller, but through the years. No, I spent 10 years there and watched it grow from Fortune 115 to Fortune 24 when I left, and just recently purchased by Cigna. So did a variety of roles there in my 10 years there, and then just made the decision it was time for a change.
Sure.
And with that, started investigating different options.
Yeah.
And so one path, I was interviewing with corporations and companies and names that you would know, and parallel path, kind of tangential, and started investigating what if I went out on my own and did our own thing. So really started investigating, and I have a history with my family. We lost Mom 4 years ago last week to cancer.
Sorry to hear that.
Thank you. So when we started looking at what is that next step, the caregiving was really close to my heart, because we had some really, really good caregivers in Mom's battle with cancer. So no disrespect, but I didn't want to open up a smoothie shop or a trampoline park. I wanted something that meant something, because that's part of how I define success, is the service to our community. Yeah. So ended up with Amada, which is just a great organization, and we're here to help our community.
Good. Now, I will say that the smile on a kid's face when they get their smoothie is
that's true.
It's a good
Very true. Very true. Absolutely true. Smile on my face sometimes.
Right.
My
face too, right?
Absolutely.
So, that's phenomenal. I mean, and a great passion behind what you do, and a strong why as well.
Yeah.
So, can you tell the audience a little bit more about your family and
Absolutely.
You're a dad, right?
Absolutely. Father of 3. So yeah, married for 14 years now, and 3 children, 12-year-old girl, 10-year-old boy, and 5-year-old boy. So 7th grade, 5th grade, and pre-K, respectively, here in Webster, and we do the typical family things. I mean, it's church, it's school, and it's sports. Primarily, and everything that involves. So I was at my 10-year-olds. We were at baseball practice last night, getting ready for his first tournament this weekend. Yeah. So it's always something. I actually had to work last week, but I sent them down to Branson and for a few days just to get out and have some fun over spring break. But it's a lot of time together, and it's a lot of activities and sharing quality time.
That's great.
Yeah.
So. When you were over at Express Scripts, did you find yourself working a lot more hours?
I would say it depends.
Okay.
It depends. I worked a lot there. I worked a lot here. So
Okay.
we're still building
Yeah.
our business. I mentioned we're about a year and a half in. So we are still working very hard as far as building our brand, hiring caregivers, finding clients, and putting that time in. So we're not resting on our laurels. So
Right,
I would say it's comparable.
Yeah.
I worked anywhere from 50 to 60 hours there a week, and I'm probably comparable here.
Okay. Now, is your time here, though, a little bit more under your control, would you say?
Absolutely.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's the big difference.
All right.
That's the big difference. It's somewhat humbling. There I had teams, so at Express, I had teams anywhere from 6 to 50 under me. And here I have myself and a handful of office staff.
Right.
And sometimes it's either this gets done by me or it doesn't get done at all. Which was the big difference, where I could delegate more to my teams. But here it's a lot more hands-on. This is what I can do. I still do all the hiring of our caregivers because I want that control right now. Yeah. And it's just different. It's you own it.
Right. Yeah. That's great. Well, and your ultimate goal with it, tell me more about why you chose to go the franchise route as opposed to another executive level position.
Yeah, absolutely. So when we began investigating different alternatives within the healthcare space, I ultimately ended up with the franchise route simply because I wanted more speed to market. I wanted the playbook, I wanted the software, I wanted the proven playbook to get up and running quicker. Yeah. So that's where I found the pros to the franchise route. There's obviously pros and cons to everything. Some of the cons is kind of that ongoing royalty and whatnot. But for me, it was worth the price to really get speed to market. And ultimately, it's offered us the opportunity. So we just locked down purchasing and expanding to Columbia and Jefferson City. So we'll be doing that in the next year. So, and it's opening opportunities like that as well.
Congratulations.
Thank you. So we're excited about that.
Okay. So, but why not executive? Why not go to another big company, Fortune 24, and do the same thing? No, it's funny. I don't think I told you this story. So the day I signed the paperwork to purchase our territory, to purchase our Amada franchise, I also had an offer from one of the large corporations here in town. And sitting across the table, talking with my wife, and we had basically both sheets of paper in our hand. Yeah. And she just said, follow your heart and do what you want to do, what your heart tells you. So I did. So we went the Amada route and the healthcare. And lo and behold, 2 weeks later, that company here in town announced a major data breach. And it was like after that, I looked at my wife and was like, it was meant to be. Yeah. It was just meant to be. So big corporations obviously have their pros and cons as well. And really what you're trading in, this is what I tell a lot of potential franchisees through Amada call me before they make the purchase. Sure. And we just have these very truthful conversations because I want everyone to jump into this eyes wide open. Right. So it's really, to me, at its core, it is taking the stability and the stability of a corporate job and that corporate paycheck, and you know what you're getting every month. That's stable. The entrepreneurial route, owning your own business, less stable, obviously, but it's really taking on that risk and reward, potentially unlimited earning potential down the road for less stability up front, and just being your own boss. It's not all about the money. It's controlling your own destiny. It's controlling your own schedule, working with others about what matters to you. Yeah. That's where it really got me to go down this path. So you're saying basically to be able to just control your own path.
Control your own path and do something that you're passionate about. Yeah. That's at its core, that's what it's all about. I was totally hook, line, and sinker into Express Scripts because I knew we were doing good. We were providing safer, more affordable medications for people throughout the country. And that meant something to me. But there's something, this is a different level for me personally. This is helping my neighbors. This is helping my community and help them live their daily activities, help them live their life. So
absolutely,
as long as you follow your passion, I think that's core. And it's not really work anymore. So the way I kind of look at it is when you're working hard for something you don't necessarily passionate about, that's stress.
Yeah.
That's stress.
Yeah.
But when you're working hard for something you care about and it means everything to you, that's passion. And there's a big difference on how your body and your attitude react to that.
Right. Absolutely. Excuse me. Absolutely. And so the difference now, you say, before you were working 50, 60 hours, you're working probably the same now. But before it was stressful.
Yep.
While now it's kind of more fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
More fun, more passionate. It's you see the difference you're making, and that makes all the difference, I would say.
Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Okay. So now when you look at success, how you define success kind of now versus your Express Scripts days, would you say that that's changed a little bit?
I would. Absolutely.
Tell me more about
I would. So in the Express days, we always had our scorecards and we always knew exactly where we stood, and our metrics were everything, our KPIs were everything, because that all led to our bonus, if you will.
Right.
So it was always metric driven. It was a pay for performance organization, which I loved. But quite honestly, it was financially driven. And that's what it meant to me. I kind of lost sight of some of the service, although the heart of our customers was always what we did. But it was all about, okay, what's my next bonus going to be? What's my next performance review going to be? Now, obviously, financial is a big piece of supplying for my family, supplying for my caregivers and their families.
Yeah.
But now I feel like what I'm teaching my kids more of, it's all about the service. And the more people we can help, the more of an impact, the more we can grow, the more we can help our caregivers with their families and their living expenses. And we're even looking at creating a 501c nonprofit to help with veterans and their care. So it's pivoting what success is, as long as I can still really just provide for my family what we need, but then provide for everyone who's associated with Amada. Clients, caregivers, clients' families, and then start giving back more into the community, especially. And we're choosing to really look at that veteran to give back to them, because they need care and a lot of them can't afford the care. So if we can create a nonprofit that will help provide free care to them, that's where we're aiming.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I have to ask you, I'll circle back around on that note. So, so veterans are a big passion. Why are veterans a big passion for you? Just because you just see that need?
There's a huge need. We see it every day.
Yeah.
They're not getting, I won't say great care, but they're not getting the care they need.
Yeah.
They've committed and given so much for this country.
Right.
We should be giving back more. And whether it's the care they're getting at the VA hospital that is lacking, the VA homes, and quite honestly, a lot of them just need some financial help.
Yeah.
So if we can see, it's tough walking into a home and seeing someone that needs care but can't afford it.
Right.
So if we can help them provide the care they need, it's so small compared to what they did for us.
Right. Are you connected with anybody over there, Common Sense Companies? That's what I was going to say. Are you? Okay, cool.
Yes.
Good organization. Good.
Absolutely. Yes, absolutely.
Good. So now, your kind of big definition of success is taking care of your family, your caregivers' families, the extended family that are your clients, right?
Yep.
As opposed to kind of living for the bonuses.
That's right. It's all about enriching lives now. Enriching lives. That's our mission at Amada, and so it's doing that, as well as just service to our communities. Yep.
So being a KPI driven person previously, how do you measure that level of success? Is it customer surveys, or how number of smiles. Check mark the number of times you get the clients to smile.
No, there's still definitely KPIs associated that I'm driving towards. Whether it be our marketers' KPIs on how many people that they're talking to, how many meetings, how many in-services.
Sure.
And then it's more a matter of logistically looking at our hours served. But yeah, when it comes down to kind of customer service, it's working with our clients, getting their reviews, net promoter score from them.
Yeah.
So there's definitely, I have KPI, I'm still KPI driven, but it's it's different metrics that I'm looking at, and it's more about the service as opposed to what we were looking at previously.
Excellent.
Yep.
Excellent. So still service driven, still KPI driven, still other numbers, all that stuff.
Yeah,
okay,
absolutely.
Great. So then with your family, right, the kids, how are you trying to kind of cultivate that definition of success about enriching other people's lives? How do you work that into your education of them?
No, great question. I think a couple different things. So first and foremost, they help me market. And so we will go to, on a Saturday morning, we'll go to an assisted living community. And we've thrown ice cream socials. Or for a Cardinals game, maybe we'll throw a barbecue. And so they'll be out there with me. And they're helping. They're going to get drinks and help carry their plates. So it's help bringing them along and showing them the people that we're helping. So that's number one, because that makes it real. So
they get to interact with everybody, even talk a little bit about how dad helps them out.
Yep, absolutely. That's good. It's showing that even though we may be talking about a certain client or so on and so forth, or this is what I'm doing, this makes it real, and it shows exactly the kind of people we are helping on a daily basis. So that's number one. And then number two, it's they know if I'm working late or have to go in early. That just it makes it real as far as these are the people we're helping. My grandmother, their great grandmother, she's just started hospice care last week. And she's probably going to pass in the next few months. But that too is just kind of showing them this is the circle of life, and how do we interact with those at some of their most intimate times, and even when it's our last end of life, if you will, that's when they need us most, and to be that helping hand to help get them through the crisis. Let's face it, what I do, a lot of it is crisis management. We get called in after a fall, or we get called in when someone's leaving the hospital. So it's dealing with people in crisis mode. So it's that calming effect. And so living the life with grandma and others and letting them see the clients, I think that really brings it home and makes it real for them.
Wow. So you get them pretty involved.
Get them involved. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And then just by example, I was talking to them all weekend about this potential not-for-profit, and just telling some examples of some people and how this might be able to help them. So they are just as gung-ho Amada as I am. That's great. Yeah.
Good. Run around in
the backpacks, the t-shirt, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. They want to hand stuff out at school. Yeah.
Hey, you got grandparents, right?
That's right.
One day your parents are going to get old, right?
That's right.
Hold on to this card.
Absolutely.
So you jumped in with a franchise, and you said there were certain benefits of that.
Yep.
Now, are there any little nuggets of advice that you would give people who are thinking about, they're kicking around the idea?
Yeah.
Like you, maybe they were an executive somewhere, or whatever their past might have been.
Yeah.
Veterans, I hear that's kind of a big thing, that they'll maybe try to start a business or something like that. What are some key factors that they need to really kind of be aware of and looking for when evaluating a franchise in your eyes?
Yeah. So I think what I like to tell others that are investigating the potential is, one, narrow down the industry. Narrow down what you want to get involved with, and then start investigating the different possibilities within. So there's a lot out there. You can go to entrepreneur.com and many other sites. You can go through brokers, whatever. I did not do a broker, but I was able to focus on, this is what I want to do within healthcare. And then I vetted several different agencies. So that's my recommendation. One, narrow the focus on the industry. And then once you get there, start doing your research and start your vetting process. Do your due diligence. This is an important decision. This is your livelihood. This is your family.
Yeah.
So start vetting them. So in my case, agency, but every potential franchisor has pros and cons, whether it be territory size, whether it be price, whether it be maybe it's the software they utilize, whatever the case may be. So there's many different details within, and those pieces have to all fit together.
Right.
And then at its core, those are the logistical. The harder piece to kind of put your finger on is just the corporate values.
Right.
The values of the people who are running the franchise and making sure that their values are aligned with you.
Mm-hmm.
So I just recommend focus on the industry and then begin your vetting and due diligence, and really dig in to pros and cons for every different available option. And then you'll know sooner or later, like my wife said, follow your heart. You'll know.
Yeah. So you had the benefit of kind of knowing where you wanted to go, which
Correct.
industry you kind of wanted to focus in on.
Correct.
So that kind of helped you out.
Absolutely.
Whereas you said you didn't use a business broker,
Right.
Or a franchise broker.
Correct.
That might have been helpful.
Absolutely.
If
I didn't know what I wanted to do, absolutely,
Right.
that may have been a good option for me. Absolutely.
What are some of the key potential things to look out for? Like, I think one of them you said was any sort of royalties or anything like that.
Yep.
How did you kind of?
Yeah. So I would, without really doing this checklist before, just in my head, I would say, okay, look at territory size.
Okay, so yeah.
You want to make sure that that's aligned with what you want.
The area that you want, and also the potential market.
Exactly.
Right? That there's enough potential
And the
market
demographics within.
to give you the income that you want.
That's exactly
If
right.
You're going to get a certain percentage of the market share.
That's right.
Right.
That's right.
Okay.
So definitely look at your territory. Look at the costs,
Mm-hmm.
whether that's upfront costs and the ongoing royalties.
Yeah.
Both have a big impact. Some may have a higher upfront cost, lower royalties. Others may have higher royalties, and which you're going to pay ongoing. So you just have to weigh that.
Okay.
And then I would say the values in the core. That is probably the number one reason I signed with Amada, which was a company I never ever heard of before.
Yeah.
But once you start in that vetting process and you meet the leaders and executives of that franchise, ensuring that they're aligned with your success,
Mm-hmm.
and ensuring they're aligned, their values match yours.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think those are the keys.
The one other element might be too, like, what is, if you're paying ongoing royalties or fees, like, what does that actually give you?
Yeah.
Would you say
No,
that's kind of
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Part of it is what are they offering?
Right. Right.
That playbook, the software. What are those? What's included?
Right.
I mean, what's the package, if you will? So
Okay.
yeah, that's a key as well.
Perfect. Well, we've only got about 2 minutes, so I just wanted to give you one more chance to just kind of tell the audience a little bit more about, again, kind of how you might help them or maybe their loved ones, and then where they can find more information.
Yeah, absolutely. So Amada Senior Care St. Louis, we are on Manchester Road, 10097 Manchester Road, right across from Glendale Jeep. We can be found at amadastlouis.com. That's AMADASTLOUIS.com. Or we can be reached via phone at 314-626-3905.
Okay, great. So if anybody's out there who's potentially has a loved one who really would love to be able to stay in their home longer, with some sort of healthcare type support, that would be one reason why they would want to reach out to you. Right?
Absolutely. Our goal is to keep you in your home as long as you want to be there. And for some of our clients, that is as long as you have to carry me out.
Yeah.
Which I'm down with. That's me.
Yeah.
And others, we're gonna keep you there until you need to make a change. So we're here to take care of you regardless of financial impact to us.
Yeah.
We're gonna do what's right for you.
Awesome. Okay, well, thank you. Well, this has been Matt Barbie with Time for Success Business Owner Dad's Edition with Chris Fowler of Amada Senior Care. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And again, if you would like any more information about creating a business that's going to actually give you the lifestyle that you want for your family and for your team's family,
That's right.
Chris mentioned that, that's a huge part of it. what can you do to create a wonderful lifestyle for your team. So you can give me a call, 314-441-5423. Thanks for joining us today. All right, and thank you, Facebook Land, for joining us.